Just a quick video on some things that I've been seeing. These things are not new things. This is old news, and I know many are going to look at this as old news. Sometimes when we remind people of certain things, there's certain elements out there that will comment and say, I'm surprised you didn't know this already. Well, I am fully aware, but sometimes when you see things, it's good to speak on that. You have to get it out. And this is my way of expressing myself. This is my way of, in a way, cleansing my mind of certain things that I have been noticing. And I spoke on these things. Again, I'm going to repeat. I have spoke on these things. I am fully aware that they are there. But sometimes it's good to just get these things out of your heart. I have been noticing different demonic entities revealing themselves, expressing themselves. And I think a lot of times when people do demonic symbols, these things are subconscious and these people are not even aware that they are doing these things. Or they have become so used to these things that they pay it no mind when they even start taking on these certain traits and characteristics. There are people that feel they can do things and secretly accept the satanic agenda, secretly accepting the satanic agenda, thinking nobody knows, but it reveals itself subconsciously through your body. So what am I talking about? Donald Trump has always, whether he's aware of it or not, have always display or throw up satanic symbols, the 666. His hand gestures are always in the position of a 666 satanic symbol, whether he realizes it or not. We know about Rihanna, we know about Jay-Z, we know about Beyonce. We've talked about these things, but sometimes, like I said, we become so used to these things that we don't speak on them anymore. We just let them go because it had become the norm. And like I mentioned in many of my videos, I'm always measuring things by the things I knew of and I was aware of growing up as a child or from a child. And many females nowadays, black and white, have taken on the nature of the beast. Not just women, but also men. So, fellas, you can't rejoice. It's easy to constantly point our fingers at women or at black women without looking at ourselves. And now many of our children are starting to take on the nature of the beast. You see everyday children taking pictures holding up a Baphomet sign. Many young girls that's not even old enough to know what it means or what they're doing will hold up the Baphomet sign along with their tongue hanging like a serpent. And they think they're being cool. Many females think they're being sexy. Now, when females first started sticking their tongue out like a serpent, They were doing it as a symbol to let other women know, or better yet, they were doing it as a way of letting you know that they like women. That these are things that they would not mind doing to another woman, using her tongue. But don't realize they've taken on the nature of the serpent. Just recently, I was thinking about doing a video on Eve. If you are Bible readers, or if you have studied the Bible, you could recall where Eve in the Garden of Eden was deceived by the serpent. Adam was given the commandment, but the serpent came to Eve. And he lured her away with the thought of having the knowledge of good and evil. That's what many of us think, but you fail to remember that the serpent said to Eve that the day that you eat of that, you will become like gods, knowing good and evil. So Eve looked at that fruit and thought that it was a fruit that would make her wise, that would make her become like God. And today we have black females referring to themselves as God. We have women that are referring to themselves as men, just like we have men referring to themselves as women. But women are on the warpath against men. Men have to beware of the fact that many of the women that you've loved, that you love or that you admire, have now become your adversary. Knowingly, secretly, or unknowingly, they have become your adversary. And many men are now being trapped and ensnared by women because these same women that you claim to love and you protect are now in competition against you and only wish for your demise. But yet you still stand in defense of these demonic beings that are now occupying flesh. Quite interesting. So now Eve is up to the same games that was played back in the Garden of Eden, where she desired to compete with man. Everything that man do, she's not content with just being a woman and mastering her trade. She refused to stay in her lane. She comes over in the lane of man and says, I can do it better than you. I can be more of a man than you can be. So now females have taken on the role of men. They've also taken on the curses of men. I mentioned in a video recently that I was just in the VA and I saw this guy, this war veteran that just came home recently, and he had one leg. I see war veterans with no arms, no legs, or they're completely disabled. But then I saw this woman, this female, that looked like a man, that had one leg. She just came out of combat. So now her children have to look at her and take care of her where she can't take care of herself because she wanted to be like man. She compete with man to show and prove to man that she can be more of a man than he. Just recently, they opened the doors to the Boy Scout. Now girls can join the Boy Scout, but I'm wondering if boys are able to join the Girl Scout. And many females are down for that because they feel that their little girls can compete with the little boys, can do what the little boys can do. But the minute a little boy pushes the little girl down and she skins her knee, then comes the problems. Don't hit a little girl. That is a girl. But yet, many of these females are coming at men like men. Many of these females are now suing men because they were in agreement with a man for a position. So now they got their position. And years down the line, they're coming back saying that he molested me, he touched me, he raped me. Although they were two consenting adults. But back to my topic. We are now dealing with demonic entities in flesh body, in flesh shells. I saw a video, and I'm seeing it more often now, where people like Cardi B, whenever she takes a picture, her tongue is hanging out her mouth like a serpent. They're either throwing up the Baphomet sign, the 666 sign, or they will throw up the Baphomet sign with their tongue hanging out. But are they aware? Are they really aware of what they are doing? Are they really aware that they are showing allegiance to Lucifer, to satanic entities? Are they aware that they have sold their souls, or on the path of selling their souls for fame and for fortune? I find that quite interesting. But just had to get the thought out of my mind. Subscribe, share the video, click on the PayPal link, and make a donation to this channel if you choose to do so. Until next time, feedback, tell me what you think. I'm fearless.